what you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Step still. Look at right here. Welcome to the MG Show, everybody. It is myself, Jeffrey Peterson, a.k.a. In the Matrix on Twitter and True Social, with Shannon Townsend, who is a.k.a. Shady Groove with 3 O's on True Social and on X. Shady Groove.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you all for being here. And man, oh man, are we here again to share with you the unbelievable thing that we are seeing happen, which is the Future Proves Past News Unlocked the Map operation currently unfolding in front of us to see that finally we are seeing the news that we know about corruption or the information we know to be about the people who are doing corruption in the news, which is the most that we could ever ask for. We're going to let we the people decide what they're going to do with that as we continue to generate headlines.
So look at me right here. Let me just go back here. Look at I'm all messed up right here. Look at that.
Jeff?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, we'll figure it out, guys. Anyways, you're going to have to deal with me like this.
You're fine.
So news does unlock maps. So we've got a couple of things to talk about. First of all, District in Distress. Is that almost like Panic in D.C., Shady Groove? Is that?
I think that could be considered an identical match.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So Panic in D.C. is District in Distress. Very interesting. We also have something coming up as well that's going to be new. We've got the, what do you call it, Shady? You got the, oh, so John Solomon was on Real American Voice with Senator Ron Johnson, and boy, they start talking about the Clinton cash and everything, guys. Pretty interesting, huh?
Started to come around on Uranium 1.
Oh.
Because it's a big deal. Uranium 1 is probably one of the biggest deals because you're talking about passing around fissile material through intelligence networks to foreign countries on behalf of the material that we made here somehow ends up in foreign countries and nobody can figure out that it came from us, but we can all be threatened by countries that have uranium using it against us. And we're supposed to all just keep going along and believing that we have to be afraid of them.
And Uranium 1, there's a bunch of posts there, and U1, and we're going to go over those because it's all connected. You've got Bob Mueller, Hillary Clinton, Barack Hussein Obama, Bill Clinton, Rod Rosenstein. They are all connected. Clapper, Comey, all of them, guys. This is where it all connects. America is no longer for sale. And real quick, Shady Group, thank you for Sandy Star White, $25 with boom, boom, boom. Rant, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Also, Shady, I want to show you this. This is Rufus
awesome.
Sent me this on Instagram. This is on Instagram, and there is pictures, right? It's kind of cool. And it has this and pictures. See their pictures?
I see their pictures.
Right? The Diddler.
Pictures
Harley.
is only so good.
Yeah, you got Pritzker. And then Mr. Freeze. But what I did, Shady Grove, is I took that
Made it
and
better.
I stepped up their meme game for them
Yes.
because I tell you, it's
They were
pretty
slacking.
good. They were slacking. Check it out. Here's what I made.
Donald Trump makes himself Batman, and the nation's capital is Gotham City. The President of the United States has declared himself crime fighter in chief.
They all look pretty good.
Boom.
That made them all look better except
Didn't
for
it?
Hillary.
They all look better, I think. They look
Or
great.
maybe even Hillary.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I think Grok AI did a great job. Thank you, Grok. And, step up your meme game, guys. Grok has something called Imagine. Throw your photos in Imagine, and they come to life. Pretty amazing. Real Iron Eagle says, Moab incoming. Yes, we're going to do that. But first, we're going to get to But First, Shady Grove.
Yes.
But first, we're going to get...
But first, we're going to back up.
We're going to back up a minute because District in Distress, Shady Grove. This is Donald J. Trump. District in Distress. Does that sound like what, guys? Panic in D.C.?
Panic in D.C.
Did they put that in AI and say, hey, give me alternate words that say panic in D.C., give me 10, and District in Distress was one of them?
It's a thesaurus. We put it in the thesaurus of phrase generating machine. It's like panic in DC. Give us 10 things that sound like panic in DC and district in distress was
So
the one
good.
Trump chose.
So good, man. And so we're going to go ahead and watch that right now. Panic in D.C., a.k.a. District in Distress. Here we go. Donald Trump wants us to watch this. Oh, but it's Hannity. Oh, but it's your president. Shady Grove, here we go.
There is almost nothing they will not politicize. Now, that includes crime statistics. Whoa, they cooked the books. Imagine that. Are you shocked at home? Now, many in the media mob are now falsely reporting that crime is down to a 30-year low in D.C. Joe Biden was peddling the same lie. But here is the data that they are trying to push as fact. Look at this headline, quote, D.C. police commander suspended, accused of changing crime statistics. And according to a report today in the Washington Free Beacon, this is not a one-off incident. Instead, quote, officials in Washington, D.C., they often pressure officers to falsify statistics in order to make the city appear a lot safer than it is. The police union chairman, he put it this way, quote, when our members respond to the scene of a felony offense where there is a victim reporting that a felony occurred, inevitably there will be a lieutenant or captain that will show up on the scene and direct those members to take a report for a lesser offense. He continued, quote, by changing criminal offenses, they avoid both the police department and the FBI from having to report a felony offense. And according to multiple reports, this is something that happens in almost every major blue city across the country, as if I'm informing you about something you didn't already know. And that is, there's no law, there's no order, there's no safety, there's no security. This is the result of defund, dismantle, no bail laws. But if you need another reason to doubt DC's accounting, well, here is the city's police chief at a press conference earlier today, getting confused by the term, so police chief, chain of command. Take a look.
Can you tell us what the chain of command is now?
What does that mean?
Well, is it Pam Bondi speaking to the mayor, speaking to you, or how does this work?
So the executive order is clear. The president has requested MPD services, and our home rule charter outlines the process. The president designated Attorney General Bondi as his proxy to request services through me.
Simple question. How is that person in charge? That does not exactly inspire confidence, to say the least. And then to make matters worse, juvenile crimes through the roof, not only in D.C., which not only obscures criminal reporting, they cook in the books, but also severely limiting prosecution, sentencing for young, violent felons. You know, they're out there committing crime after crime after crime. Take a look at that screen. For example, according to police, juveniles accounted for more than 50% of all robbery arrests in 2024, about 60% of all carjacking arrests in 2025. Another glaring indicator that our nation's capital is facing a crime crisis is the city's murder rate. It is much harder to cook the books when there is a dead human being involved. Can't exactly hide that so easily. And sadly, Washington, D.C. has one of the highest murder rates, look at this, in the entire world. Look at this, 41 per 100,000. Uruguay, 16.1. You know, we have, look at Baghdad. How is it possible in D.C., more than double the rate in Baghdad, almost triple, for crying out loud? Nigeria. Washington's murder rate is many times higher than Panama City, Panama, Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, Havana, Cuba, El Salvador. Just about every other capital city on the planet. But according to many on the left, Trump is racist. He's a dictator for lawfully using the federal government to restore safety and security, law and order in our capital city so that we can save lives. What an interesting thought. Take a look.
You don't think more police make streets safer?
No, Joe. I'm a black woman in America. I do not always think that more police make streets safer.
When I go to D.C., I'm not afraid of losing my wallet so much as I'm afraid of losing my vote. I'm not afraid of losing my wallet so much as I'm afraid that my children's freedom to breathe will be stolen in a world where climate change policy is non-existent.
You may recall at the Democratic Convention, I spoke one evening and I said the Project 2025 is Jim Crow 2.0. I can tell you right now exactly what is going to happen in so many of these instances because it's all right there. If you look in the history books, you see it.
My children's freedom to breathe will be stolen. Jim Crow 2.0. And you have Mr. Fang Fang. Eric Swalwell had a slightly different take. He's now accusing Trump of being responsible for every new murder in the city. After all, he took over just a few hours ago. Now, this hysteria is nothing new. Frankly, it doesn't really matter. Here's the million-dollar question. Ask yourself at home. Why do Democrats care? Why don't they care about law and order, safety and security? Why are they staunch advocates of failed policies, defund, dismantle, reimagine the police, no bail laws? Why did they flat out lie to you about Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Mayorkas's open borders that allowed, let's see, known terrorists, murderers, rapists, other violent criminals, cartel members, gang members, drug dealers, all unvetted into our country, some 12 to 20 million. Nobody knows the real number. In fairness, not everyone on the left is actually on the same page. Some Democrats are even quietly now supporting President Trump. Shockingly, our old friend, Liberal Joe, actually made sense for once. I was shocked. Take a look.
I will just go back to the fact that, you know, the people that are cheering this on privately are not like right-wing Republicans, are not MAGA people. A lot of our friends are in the media, and also Democrats that worked on Joe Biden's campaign, that worked on other campaigns, that are saying, yeah, I'd like to feel safe walking around this city. If the federal government can be a positive partner in keeping the streets safe, while again forming a partnership with the DC police and not taking over, then at least the people I've spoken with that live in DC day in, day out, see this as a positive step.
If all his Democratic friends in D.C. wanted this, why didn't they demand Joe Biden do something about it? By the way, it's not only Liberal Joe. Here's one ABC reporter sharing her experience from living and working in our nation's capital. Take a look.
I can tell you firsthand here in downtown D.C. where we work, right here around our bureau, just in the past 6 months, there were 2 people shot. 1 person died, literally 2 blocks down here from the bureau. It was within the last 2 years that I actually was jumped walking just 2 blocks down from here. And then just this morning, one of my coworkers said her car was stolen a block away from the bureau. So we can talk about the numbers going down, but crime is happening every single day because we're all experiencing it firsthand while working and living down here.
All right. Does that seem like a safe city to you? Is that the best we can do in our nation's capital? And it's not just violent crime. Try walking into a CVS anywhere in D.C. Everything's under lock and key. Cars routinely broken into. Massive theft. Major problem. Look at your screen. Even our friend Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary of our country, was robbed. A porch pirate stopped by his house. Just stole everything on his front porch. And let's not forget about the homeless crisis in D.C. I've seen it firsthand. And this is before the president was sworn in. Homeless encampments, open-air drug use, public defecation were commonplace, including inside our national parks and monuments and the front lawn of Union Station. There is some good news tonight. According to even fake news CNN, a superhero has come to the rescue. I don't think they meant this as a compliment. Take a look.
Donald Trump makes himself Batman, and the nation's capital is Gotham City. The president of the United States has declared himself crime fighter in chief, and he's taking over Washington's police force. It is a move that the D.C. mayor is calling unsettling and unprecedented. Now, Trump is painting it as an emergency, that D.C. is a hellhole.
Again, I'm not sure if CNN meant that as an insult, but President Trump most definitely is trying to save D.C., trying to make it more safe, whether woke residents like it or not. Now, first, the president is quickly clearing all homeless encampments across the city. He's giving these individuals 3 options. Take a look.
For far too long, these laws have been completely ignored, and the homelessness problem has ravaged the city. So DC Code 22-1307 and DC Municipal Regulation 24-100 give the Metropolitan Police Department the authority to take action when it comes to homeless encampments. So homeless individuals will be given the option to leave their encampment, to be taken to a homeless shelter, to be offered addiction or mental health services, and if they refuse, they will be susceptible to fines or to jail time. Again, these are pre-existing laws that are already on the books. They have not been enforced.
President Trump deploying the National Guard, other federal law enforcement, and en masse across the city, especially in vulnerable areas. During last night's operation, 23 suspected criminals were removed from the streets, including someone accused of murder. And this is really just day one. Now, this was the help of Washington, D.C., everything that they've needed in years to come. If they get the courage, the city's residents hopefully will one day thank President Trump. More importantly, lives will be saved.
Wow. That was a pretty good segment by Hannity, wasn't it, Shady? Believe it or not.
No, it wasn't great. It wasn't a good segment. It was a great segment because this is the direction that all of us have been fighting to do. If you're not sitting there right now watching that, realizing that, hey, everything that I stood up for, me being we the people, and I wanted to stand up and say I want to support Trump and I want America to be America. Wouldn't it be cool if I could take my family and go to DC and drive around and maybe even stop and go to the park and have a picnic or go to the Capitol without being harassed or ran over? Man, Jeff, I just can't really understand how we could be more positive about what's happening in our country, and how could it be more obvious what's going on. Look at the way that the lady sitting there at the news desk, look at the way her mind sees Batman. She sees Batman like it's a bad thing. Okay, and then they do do you remember Batman? Batman the show would be the criminals. You'd always see what the criminals were doing in the background. They were working with this and they were working with that, and the city commissioner and the police department and the police chief. All those people were working with the criminals, and now you see they're defending the criminals. They come out and they say, oh, no, we defend the illegals, we defend the criminals, we defend men in women's bathrooms and women's sports. They literally, it couldn't be more Gotham, guys. Yeah. How could it be more Gotham?
VC, thank you for the donation as well, $17, and Zifna got us a subscription for our friend Q Shaw. Thank you so much. Remember, guys, when you get a subscription, a little pop-up will come up and say, hey, do you want to join Rumble Premium? And you get a free month, okay? So if somebody gifts you a subscription, you can get a free month of Rumble Premium. Now, let's go to this, Shady. This is the post just before that, okay? Washington, D.C., and this is a true social post from Donald J. Trump. Washington, D.C. has one of the highest rates of crime in the world, more than many of the most violent third world countries. The city's homicide rate is higher than places notorious for their violence, such as Mexico City, Bogota, Islamabad, and Addis Ababa. Almost 10, say that and Addis Ababa. Ababa.
You did so good.
Addis Ababa. Okay. Almost 10 times higher than Fallujah, Iraq. If D.C. were a state, it would have the highest homicide rate of any state in America. The violent crime rate in D.C. has worsened, and the murder rate is essentially doubled in just over a decade. But there are only the official statistics released by a corrupt city officials. The real numbers are many times worse. In fact, a precinct commander was just suspended for allegedly manipulating the violent crime statistics, and the D.C. Police Union likewise says the real numbers are much higher. Because the Democrat governor of D.C. has largely stopped investigating, arresting, and prosecuting most crime. The published statistics don't even capture a fraction of the actual violence. No one is arrested for shoplifting. Citizens living in fear for having largely given up on calling the police, instead choosing not to walk the streets after dark, essentially becoming captive prisoners in their own city. Stores lock up their merchandise behind glass walls. Gang youth violence is so common, it goes largely unreported. Vehicle theft in D.C. is more than 3 times the national average. Schools are completely dysfunctional. Citizens are afraid to speak up or call the police lest they be targeted. The real crime rates are probably 5 to 10 times what has been reported. D.C. has been under siege from thugs and killers, but now D.C. is back under federal control where it belongs. The White House is in charge. Chain of command. The military and our great police will liberate this city, scrape away the filth, and make it safe, clean, habitable, and beautiful once more.
Man,
That's change. I can believe it.
But you can also see why all these people are doing all this stuff to distract you, right? Yeah. They don't want you seeing what it is that's going on. They don't want you to have the example in your mind of what it means to have a safe, clean city. And by those people, I mean the psychological operators that are out here on social media trying to drive everybody in these corners away from Donald Trump and away from our messaging, which is the MAGA message, which supersedes the neocon message. It supersedes the Democrat message. It supersedes the globalist elite message. The MAGA message is America, Americans first. First meaning first, not first meaning later on. They've twisted everything and got you completely backwards on every single thing that you think, to the point where you're willing to usher in your own demise.
Yes, and I did see those stats earlier. Effectual Insurrection says even 18 to 24-year-olds that murder get charged as a youth, guys. I mean, come on.
I mean, imagine being somebody that's a victim of that. Like, how do you square that in life, to know that nobody cares that your daughter was murdered on the street in cold blood by some random bullet from some thug driving down the street? It's happening every day.
Yeah. And I got a message for those people who have issues with President Trump's cabinet selections. The ones that have the issues, Shady, are the ones that are not in the cabinet. Instead, they have to go rent an office in D.C. and act like they're part of the administration.
They're playing dress up like Joe Biden's.
That's what you call LARPing, Shady Groove.
It is a LARP.
General Flynn is a LARP. Can I say it?
You can say it. Live action role play. LARP.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and just read this. This is from What's That What? For those who have issues with President Trump's cabinet selection, take a step back and listen. President Trump has full confidence in the people he has selected. Trump is loyal to those around him, and those around him are loyal to him. An attack on them is an attack on him. Let's listen to Eric. This is Donald Trump Jr. Sorry, here we go.
This time we had 4 years of hell that we went through. We found out who the people were that were actually fighters, people who believed in the America First movement. He brought them all on. So now that you have a cabinet that's actually aligned with the president, not trying to subvert him, you can see what's being done. And what's really great now, for the first time in probably history, the Republicans actually have a great bench for the future. Before it was Trump, and what do you have after Trump? There's no one there. We found out who those people were, who those fighters were in that 4 years, and we needed to go through that hell like addiction, right? You have to hit rock bottom to be able to rise up again. Yeah. We hit rock bottom as a country. We know the people who are on our team. They are fighting together as one engine, and the results are incredible. This time we had 4 years of...
They are fighting together as one engine. Not like the other administration where they had to Scaramucci people out of the White House, and that includes Bannon, that includes Seb Gorka, but he's actually back in. I'm not a big Gorka fan. I'm not a big Bannon fan. I'm not a big Flynn fan. I'm not a big McMaster fan. I'm not a big Hope Hicks fan. I'm not a big, all these people were Scaramucci played out because the optics had to remain good for the White House. They didn't want to show that they were having all these issues inside the administration. The administration did the right thing by getting the bullshit people out of his cabinet. Now, the people that were put in his cabinet and around him were picked by Reince Priebus, okay, and Chris Christie. Okay. And Chris Christie was at a lunch with Donald J. Trump and Trump says, hey, now that I fired Flynn, can Russia go away? Chris Christie says, no, don't even talk about it because Flynn will be like gum on the bottom of your shoe.
And boy, did he sure stick.
So if you're a Flynn fan, you like Christie, period.
Well, they're in here, the Flynn fans were in here yesterday trying to claim that we were like Adam Schiff. So, like that, and the JFK Jr. people are out there calling me a communist because I'm saying that JFK Jr. is dead. Like so like the way that they're trying to quote unquote liquefy reality. The reason that they don't want you listening to Donald Trump is because if you just listen to Donald Trump, you would realize what he is doing for you and how beneficial for you it is. And you would also realize that there is no distance between himself and Pam Bondi. Do you understand that the people that are out there that are attacking Pam Bondi are attacking the Attorney General of the United States? They're attacking the top law enforcement officer in the United States. The people that rotted over the Capitol on January the 6th are telling you that the top cop in America is dirty. Yeah. The dirty military, the dirty ex-military corrupt POSs are telling you that there is something wrong with the person that is America's top cop. And they're spreading it all around on social media. They're spreading it all around on YouTube. They're spreading it all around here on Rumble. And all of these channels are just gobbling it up. Benny and Timcast and all the rest of them just regurgitating this nonsense, attacking Donald Trump. An attack on Trump is an attack on me. An attack on Bondi is an attack on me. Do you understand how to connect that? Because you're not being strong enough in the arena and standing up for yourself. You're saying, oh, well, maybe Israel is controlling Donald Trump. You watching yourselves?
Yeah, that's Rick Young in there. America first, not only Israel or any other country. You're exactly right. America first. Because you know what's funny is you say that he's a puppet. You're going to find out, Rick. Okay? You're going to find out, and you're going to be eating them words, bro. I love it. I love it. But it's okay to think. You can think whatever you want to think. But your think is an opinion, and your opinion is your feelings, and your feelings have zero IQ, I'm sorry to say.
And I'll tell you right now, there is
You don't think Donald Trump knows that Israel was put in place by the Rothschilds? You don't think he knows that? You don't think with all the Q posts that we've studied, okay? We know. We've seen it. I mean, we've known all this since 2017, 2018. Israel is last.
And Israel is also the centerpiece of the whole conversation. We understand that. We understand all about it. You guys don't understand how to play chess. You're a bunch of checkers players out there is what you really are. You're like, literally, you're like out there, you're like licking the windows. It's like, oh, Donald Trump is controlled by Israel. Yeah. Because what? How do you prove that? Like, what are you even talking about? Did you see the way that he twisted Bibi Netanyahu's neck whenever he was standing up there and said, we're going to turn Gaza into MAGA? He said, we're going to turn Gaza into MAGA, and BB's head exploded. I'm sure that he was like sitting there and saying, oh, Trump, go up there and say, we're going to turn Gaza into MAGA. Say Israel's not going to get that Holy Land. Say it. You think BB's saying that?
Yeah.
You people are crazy.
Rick, I read your comment wrong. My apologies. Rick Young said America first. That's what he meant.
America
he meant,
first.
Yes,
Rick's
not
on my
Israel,
side.
not anybody else. That's right. Rick, my
He's on my
apologies.
side.
But you helped us make a great point. Thank you.
We were yelling at the numbnuts, by the way, not you, Rick.
You know, the ones that have the thumbs down. So how many thumbs down do we have? Let me just double check that real quick.
Why are you encouraged?
We have one thumb down. So we have 183 thumbs up. Please take a minute to do the thumbs up for us, guys, because it gets us on the leaderboard. And if you look at the people on the leaderboard that have, like, I was watching the Big Mig show the other day. They had 60,000 watchers. How many was it, Shady? 12,000. They had 12,000 live viewers and 60 thumbs up. Is that real?
No. These are people that make their money laundering, and then they use their money to pretend like they have a broadcast.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, it's a good model. That's what Patriot Soapbox did.
Yeah.
So you guys don't, like, a lot of people don't realize what the architecture of this stuff that went on during Q was. These people literally they were spending money. Patriot Soapbox, all these different things, they don't make any money. Their money is being invested. It's an investment to make it look like something's going on. Then they had their digital soldiers from around the world log in with their YouTube account and make it look like there was 1,500 people watching that stuff every day, all the time. Okay,
well,
you think that stuff was happening that wasn't really happening.
So Shady, what you're talking about is the Alice in Wonderland stuff, buddy.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's crazy.
I was picking up a little bit of that from our conversation earlier. We got a big conversation to have with you guys.
We got a Q proof about what Alice in Wonderland is. All right, real quick, Shady. Let me do this real quick because it's big. This is big, guys.
So big.
You guys like NCAA. The countdown is over. The rivalries are real. The road to the championship begins on August 23rd. Westwood One Sports brings you every electrifying moment of the NCAA football. From the first snap to the final whistle, top teams, big plays, unforgettable Saturdays. Don't miss a second of the action. Listen to NCAA football on rumble.com, the Westwood One Sports app on Westwood One, westwoodonesports.com via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. If it's sports, it's on Westwood One. Boom.
Boom. MG Show, thank you so much. They should use you for voiceover, man. Westwood One, and sounds good.
I got to just like kind of, it's a tongue twister. It really.
I know, but you did good. You didn't do the Brit Hume. You almost fell into Brit Hume.
Brit Hume.
Gutfeld was making fun of him the other night in a similar way to the way that we make fun of him, by the way.
Well,
he was insinuating the Vinyl Vixen thing.
If you remember, Shady, I was doing that on our YouTube days.
I do remember that. Yes.
Then when Greg started, he did a Brit Hume after I did. I've never seen. So I think he does. Thanks, Greg, for watching. Appreciate you, Jesse. What's up, brother? Fox News associates that are watching the show, we appreciate you. It's time to go into something that's bigger and biggest, right? This could be the biggest, Shady Groove, because we now have what's coming into the news now with all this D-class is Uranium One, Shady.
Correct, which is the biggest, in my opinion.
Yeah. You know when Q says it's all connected? This is where it's all connected.
Correct. That's right, because this is the way that they can threaten the world. Yeah. This is what they utilize to threaten the world. This is the game that they're playing in Iran in World War I and World War II. Threaten the world. How do they threaten the world? By supplying the Nazis with oil. You understand? How are they threatening the world? Oh, pretend like Iran has nuclear capabilities, because how did they get the uranium? That's part of what Q was explaining, was that this is not just about the whole thing with Russiagate was them trying to blind everybody with throwing mud and sand in your eyes so that you wouldn't see the corruption between them selling uranium to your enemy so that your enemy could threaten you, and then the CIA and the clowns could sit around and have a job forever.
Yeah,
like, that's literally the game.
And Shady, I'm sure General Flynn didn't go over to Russia to sell uranium in 2016.
He did.
What?
You will be wrong.
Wow. So let me just say, I do have a question for General Flynn, and you're welcome to come on this podcast because I'd like to discuss this picture right here. Okay.
Me too.
This is you with Putin. Okay. At a dinner. You sat right next to him. Okay. Mm-hmm. My question is this: did General Flynn help the sale of uranium to Russia?
Great question.
Look at all these comments. Wow, I got 6 likes, 5 reposts. Wow,
nobody's seeing our stuff, man. Like nobody is
really
seeing,
kicking
like,
butt out there.
No, we're not. We're completely shadow banned. Like this is probably we're more shadow banned now than we've ever been on Twitter. Like,
Exactly right.
It's crazy, dude. Like nobody is seeing our stuff.
Yes, exactly. I see a lot of naked people on there. If anybody wants to give these people some clothes, just go ahead and hit that present box and just donate a couple Red Castles for people. Sandy Star White, thank you so much. Boom. And now we're going to go back over here to this pesky Q-proof. But before we get into this, this is Senator Johnson and John Solomon discussing Hillary Clinton, Uranium One, Clinton Foundation, and more. And then the Q post, U1 equals Uranium One. There's 39 of those and 11 uranium posts. Shady Grove, we're getting into those. But let's just listen to this real quick.
Look at the possibility that the former Secretary of State and Democratic nominee was engaged in pay-to-play. The contrast couldn't be more stunning, but that's what's going on. Your thoughts on how we go about fixing that dynamic, that two people get treated entirely different in the same window?
Well, we need to stop funding the deep state. We need to root out the partisan actors. But exactly right. So the FBI, Department of Justice, they're shutting down 2 Clinton scandals. I'm quite sure these investigations were predicated on Peter Schweizer's book, Clinton Cash.
They were.
I mean, it was out there. I mean, you could see the corruption. Selling our uranium rights to Russia. Raking in, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars in the Clinton Foundation. It just on its face seemed horribly corrupt. Peter Schweizer laid it all out there, so you get people investigating, and then you got Sally Yates shut it down, as you say, while they are ramping up the completely false, the Russian hoax, knowing that it was a false Russian hoax from the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Wow. Also, Shady Groove, if you remember our movement, the video that will get Donald J. Trump elected, that video has Clinton Cash. He was talking about Clinton Cash, guys.
That's right.
And it had Clinton Cash animations.
Yes, it did. And all of this is connected to it, including all of the money that Bill Clinton was making whenever he was doing
the possibility
the post-presidency speeches that he was doing. It wasn't just him, by the way. There was a number of people from his administration or his cabinet that were out there doing the exact same thing. And the funny thing was is that there was 5 or 6 of them that became part of the Bush administration. And they became part of the neocon layer, and they became part of this whole thing that happened after 9/11 with the Patriot Act, and then they became a part of all of these contracts that were handed out in Afghanistan and in Iraq, only to be, interacted with by some certain generals, namely McChrystal and Flynn.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the posts with uranium. Okay, there's 11 of them. Wow, Q was talking about uranium on 10/29/2017. But we were censored, Shady. We were censored.
We're censored today.
Yeah.
You're censored today. You're censored today because you're talking about stuff. You're not dragging people into the PSYOP. What's happening on social media is if you're not dragging people toward the PSYOP, you're excommunicated from social media.
Yeah. And things like, Rocky, Sylvester Stallone has a Q hat is fine and dandy. But what about the actual information? That's what people need to start talking about.
And need to start talking about it with understanding of how this is corrupt. Like we've been so desensitized by movies and different things in our lives that we don't understand what real prioritization of corruption means. This is the top priority of corruption. These people were selling uranium. You can use uranium to make nuclear material, guys. You understand that?
Yep.
You can blow big stuff up.
So let's go ahead and get to it, Shady Grove. Q Post 3, 10/29/2017. Open your eyes. It finally came out that Rod Rosenstein and Bob Mueller were key players in the uranium scandal. Is this all connected now, guys? Are you seeing it yet? Okay. Who's the special counsel, Shady?
Mueller.
Who's Rod Rosenstein, Shady? AG. Okay. Don't you think POTUS would be tweeting about removal given their clear conflict? Why did the President of the United States meet Bob Mueller under cover of an FBI director interview? Bob is unable to serve as director per the law. Unable to serve. Gowdy comments on Comey. History will ... POTUS has everything. Not everyone is corrupt. Fewer than you think. Follow HUMA. Operation Mockingbird. Priority to clean out the bad actors to unite people behind the America First agenda. Many in our government worship Satan. Not about Republican versus Democrats at this stage. Where's Hillary Rodham Clinton? Why is the National Guard called up across 12 cities? Trust in your president. God bless patriots. Okay?
Post number 3.
Three.
After
Tree.
444.
Tree. Tree. All right, Shady Groove. Read post 50. You got it?
I got it.
All right, let's do it.
Big drop. And this is the reason that we've been focusing on all of this stuff, to explain to you what these connections are about North Korea and Iran, and how they're connecting to not only Flynn, but also North Korea connects to Google and Elon Musk. Guys,
Shady, can I interrupt you? Can I interrupt? Q is a psyop, okay? And it's about JFK Jr. being alive, okay? It's about General Flynn being a hero. That's all it's about, Shady. Where we go one, we go all is General Flynn, Shady. You don't know this? See how stupid it is? Oh, wait.
See how stupid it is, guys? This is the meat of the matter, Shady. And Shady, this is Q Post 50, 11/2/2017.
This is the reason that it's important for you to understand this stuff. This is the reason that the JFK Jr. stuff and the devolution stuff is put in front of you, so that you do not understand this. And they don't want you to know what it means.
That's right.
How did North Korea obtain uranium? How did Iran obtain uranium? Both of these statements, questions, investigations, interrogations, asking you a question. How did it happen, guys? Okay, stop right there. How did it happen?
Yeah.
Do you know how it happened? The news media acts like that. If you were to listen to the news media, they would tell you that North Korea and Iran developed their own nuclear programs. That is impossible. They would not be able to do it without this uranium that was given to them. Okay, so the whole thing was getting for 20 years through the 90s and the early 2000s, getting North Korea and Iran ready to receive the uranium that was sent to them through Rosatom, which is Russian connected.
It'll all be in these
Barack
drops.
Obama made these deals. Why did Barack Obama send billions in cash and wire to Iran? So that they could get the uranium.
Imagine that.
Why the cash component? You're being asked questions.
Untraceable.
Correct. Was the hostage component a cover? Yes. For what? So that they could move it between them, so they didn't all have to go to the same place. You're talking about billions of dollars in cash. Could any of the cash component be handed off to other people? Yes. How many planes carried the cash into Iran? I think there were 4.
Yep.
Did all land in Iran? No, one did not. Did all land in the same location? No. Why is this relevant? Because one landed somewhere else where other people got the material. Who controls North Korea? That's where the other plane was probably headed. Who really controls North Korea? Don't think of a single person. Think of a powerful entity. What's a powerful entity? Why is it important? Because you're talking about minutia and dumb stuff all the time and not anything that means anything to anybody. Why are wars so important? Because without war, you have no fear. Without fear, you have no control of people, because people left to their own rights will not wake up every morning and want to war. No human wakes up and wants to war. Only globalists who have controlling narcissistic tendencies want war. Who benefits? What does hostage refer to? Who can be held hostage and controlled by North Korea having miniaturized nuclear weapons? Where is Barack Obama today? Where is Valerie Jarrett? And then there it is again. Look at the way this is going to play into what we were talking about.
Alice in Wonderland, Shady.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's a wow.
I know.
Shady knows wow. Shady knows why wow.
Hi, wow. I'm not ShamWow.
ShamWow. Get your ShamWow today on rumble.com/use code MG
We
show.
do not sell ShamWow.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Twitter, Sean Hannity, FBI informant on Uranium One, breaks silence today. Sarah Carter interview. What a coincidence. Reread drops regarding Uranium One informant. Why did we refocus energy on this when out of the news cycle? Critical thinking. Q. Okay. 1306 is the next one on 4/30/2018, Shady.
Define the terms of the Iran nuclear deal. As I read this, dude, just use your own minds. Use the stuff that you've heard us talk about to answer these questions on your own. This is not like asking some abstract something that can't be answered.
And it's not cryptic.
It's not. It's formulated in a matter of questions, so that it's not releasing anything that could be ever called classified. It's asking you a question.
And it's not cryptic at all, Shady. These are not cryptic. The Q posts are too cryptic. I can't understand them, Shady.
Because you haven't read them.
Right.
Define the terms of the Iran nuclear deal. Does the agreement define and confine cease and desist pro to the Republic of Iran? Yes. What if Iran created a classified satellite nuclear facility in northern Syria? We blew it up under Donald Trump's first administration. That's why McCain was so mad. That's because all the people, remember all the numbnuts on TV that flipped out whenever we bombed Syria? Well, we bombed their freaking nuclear site.
Hello.
Iran had in Syria that nobody knew about. So then they couldn't pretend like something got blown up because nobody's supposed to know about it. You're going to see that play out over and over again in what we do here. What if the program never ceased? What other bad actors are possibly involved? Your Congress. Did the U.S. know? Yes. Where did the cash payments go? Everywhere and back into America through all these Arabella and Foundation networks. How many planes delivered? Did all planes land at the same location? Same question again. The answer is no. Where did the Uranium 1 material end up? It ended up in Iran, in that mountain that Trump just blew up, and it ended up in North Korea, in the mountain that we blew up in Trump's administration version 1. Is this material traceable? Yes. Define cover. What if Uranium 1 material ended up in Syria? It did. What would be the primary purpose? To instill a threat, to use it as blackmail, like Sum of All Fears. You do this or we'll do that. In the movie, where did the material come from? What country? Russia. What would happen if Russia or another foreign state supplied uranium to Iran and Syria? What would happen if it was our uranium that was there to begin with?
Yep.
War. What does U1 provide? Define cover. Why did we strike Syria? Why did we really strike Syria? Define cover. Patriots in control. This stuff is not cryptic.
It's so cryptic, Shady.
It's not cryptic. I can read it clear as day.
All right, and let me keep going with these cryptic posts. Shady Groove 2077. Example 1, being afraid. Does HRC care about you? We read this one the other day about AS. If she cared about protecting you, would she sell America's secrets and uranium to China, Russia? Example 1. They always thought if charges were brought versus them, they would ultimately be safe. Special counsel control because Bob Mueller's involved. Okay? Adam Schiff was out. HRC appointments. End of all ends. HRC is Hillary Rodham Clinton. End of all ends. Final. Did Anthony Kennedy have a choice? Was this the original plan according to HRC election win? What evidence was he shown? RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg replacement, lifetime appointment, age, what's at stake? And this is talking about all the uranium. This is it, right, Shady? The Uranium 1 stuff.
And let's not forget that we were talking about AS yesterday, the Adam Schiff post. This one came up yesterday. We went through this yesterday because it's all connected. Adam Schiff, Hillary Clinton, Swalwell, all of it. Nancy Pelosi, your corrupt California Democrats, your corrupt New York Democrats are no different than one another.
So go on into 2087 on 9/5/2018. This is a department headed by Mr. Clinton's wife, Hillary Rodham Clinton, as Russians gradually assume control of Uranium 1 in 3 separate transactions from 2009 to 2013. Canadian records show a flow of cash made its way to the Clinton Foundation. Uranium 1's chairman used his family foundation to make 4 donations of totaling $2.35 million. They all have foundations for a reason, don't they? Those contributions were not publicly disclosed by the Clintons, despite an agreement Miss Clinton had struck with the Obama White House to publicly identify all donors. Other people with ties to the company made donations as well. And shortly after Russians announced their intention to acquire a majority stake in Uranium 1, Mr. Clinton received a $500,000 donation for a Moscow speech from a Russian investment bank with links to the Kremlin. Okay? Letter from Committee on Financial Services, Maxine Waters, California ranking member. How do you obstruct oversight? How do you obtain inside knowledge to closed-door financial investigation? Maxine Waters, California, ranking member. Those who are the loudest, they have the most to fear, hide. Money talks. Now listen, Shady, they use the music to Clinton cash in this, I believe. This is it. Let's just see. Let me just see if this is the video.
I can't believe it's still there.
I know, me too. It may not.
Fox has been getting rid of a lot of stuff too.
Let's see. We might have an advertisement.
Oh man! Well, if it's there, we could maybe sweat an ad.
Skip ad.
Skip it.
Well, since we live in a world,
good.
excuse me, where pro wrestling references are now the very same thing as violent threats, one wonders what to make of remarks that California Congresswoman and progressive hero Maxine Waters recently made about HUD Secretary Ben Carson. During a speech on Saturday in New Orleans, Waters said that when Carson appears before her congressional committee, quote, "I'm going to take his ass apart," excuse me. Quote, "Carson knows nothing about the mission of HUD," Waters continued. "He doesn't care about people in public housing. He believes that if you are poor, it is your fault. And he doesn't know the difference between an immigrant and a slave," whatever that means. Now, we've mocked Maxine Waters before in this show, but we should take her seriously on this subject. Congresswoman Waters is a confirmed expert on the question of housing, especially her own housing. Consider where she lives. In a 6,000 square foot, $4.3 million mansion in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Los Angeles. Now, how'd she afford a place like that after having spent the last 40 years working in government? We'd hate to speculate. How does she keep getting reelected despite not living in her own congressional district? No clue there either. The district Waters actually represents in Congress has the second highest percentage of African American residents in the state of California. Now, the neighborhood where Waters actually lives is just 6% black, or as she might put it herself, if she didn't live there, it's segregated, like 1950s level segregated. And as we mentioned, it's really, really rich. So how did Maxine Waters pull off a housing coup like that? Who knows, but it almost qualifies her to be HUD secretary herself.
Because she was bribed.
That's how she wins elections.
Wow, imagine that. All right, so that's that cute. And then we go to this one here again. This is the being afraid. Would she sell out American secrets and uranium to China, Russia? Example one, they always thought if charges were brought up. So we already read this one, but Q says
it's a repost.
More.
Yeah.
Witch hunt. He adds more. Q adds more. And then there's this one, Shady Grove, with CNN. It talks about uranium deal in favor of Russia collusion. Read between the lines. Blockade end. Good to go. So this is politics. Whitaker, prosecutor, FBI. Breitbart, politics, DOJ abdicating its responsibility by ignoring Clinton uranium deal in favor of Russia collusion. Okay. So again, but Shady, but Jeff, I thought the but Russia helped Trump, Shady. Russia helped them.
They wanted Trump, Jeff.
Yeah.
They didn't want the person whose husband that they had blackmail material on because they've been buying uranium and doing all this stuff in the background. They didn't want that puppet as the president. They wanted the outsider guy that might hold them to account and actually be strong against them. And then the whole media can flip everything on its head whenever they go to protect their candidate.
Wow, Shady. I think we might have another little Q proof because you're going to read 3015. Whoa.
3015, and then it's quoting this article here, or is that a tweet? It's
article.
Okay. It's strange credulity to believe that the Justice Department didn't know about this letter when they swore under penalty of perjury that it didn't exist. You don't exactly forget about a formal directive to investigate Hillary Clinton signed by Jeff Sessions. He added, the fact that they only found it the same week Matthew Whitaker was heading for the exit makes it hard to see DOJ's previous denial as anything but a deliberate attempt to conceal. Sessions and Whitaker shouldn't escape accountability by skipping town. Scaramucci model? Question mark. How do you keep a secret? How do you prevent leaks?
Okay, Shady. Now, we need to go look at Scaramucci model now, okay? I've got it right here. 2468, the Scaramucci play. This is temp hire to remove embedded untrustworthy staffers. Okay? So in this list are untrustworthy staffers. Do you guys get this? You get this, right, Shady?
I get this.
Right.
Yes.
So the Scaramucci play, temp to hire to remove embedded trustworthy staffers, Spicer, Priebus. Temps can be very dangerous to those who are targeted. Think Whitaker. Next week, White House optics must remain stable. Many did not leave by choice. Save face and promote MAGA or be exposed. Less than 10. Attacks can occur from all directions. Logical thinking. Why attack a movement simply by design? Asking people to think for themselves. Control equals power. Why are the biggest news companies in the world continuing to attack this movement? Why is the Washington Post leading the attacks? Why do the attacks come in waves, coordinated? You attack those the most who are the biggest threat. Swamp contains red and blue. So let's go ahead and look at the Scaramucci model so Shady, it said leaks, right? How do you prevent leaks?
Yes.
How did that? Let me just go to that. So it said, how do you keep secret? How do you keep a secret? How do you prevent leaks? Scaramucci model. Let's go look at who is on the Scaramucci model. We've gone over this several times, but this is a list of officials who have left the Trump administration. Okay. David Shulkin. Okay. H.R. McMaster. Rogue McMaster. After Flynn. Okay. Rex Tillerson. Got it. Who else do we got? John McEntee. Who else do we got? Gary Cohen. Who else do we got? Hope Hicks. Oh, wow. She was a surprise interview at the January 6th commission. Rob Porter. Omarosa. Dina Powell. Tom Price. Steve Bannon. Scaramucci, of course. Reince Priebus. Sean Spicer. Mike Dubke. James Corney. Mike Flynn. Sally Q. Yates. All here. And Shady, with that, we'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages with more.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another four-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation, and this will be our last chance to save it. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is rigged. This is reality. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it. The Clinton machine is at the center of this power structure. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents, in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friends, and her donors. Honestly, she should be locked up. The most powerful weapon deployed by the Clintons is the corporate media, the press. Let's be clear on one thing. The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They're a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or other financial entity with a total political agenda, and the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe. They will lie, and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever is necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that. This is well documented, and the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up of widespread criminal activity at the State Department and the Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. They knew they would throw every lie they could at me and my family and my loved ones. They knew they would stop at nothing to try to stop me. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. Our great civilization has come upon a moment of reckoning. I didn't need to do this, folks, believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefits of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family. Instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks, who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
All right, so that's that video, right? That video was posted by Q, and you notice we're talking about Q, talking about the Clinton cash, right? Let me just go over here real quick, Shady, and open up a new window, because it's amazing how many times Q posted this video. Paste. Let me see if this is the one.
It's amazing how many times Q posted this video. It's like every single time that it would bring in a massive story, Q would repost that video to explain to us what we're doing.
Yep, 22 times, Shady. Look at that. 602 on 1/24/2018. The video was first posted. Listen carefully. Trust. We are fighting for you. God bless you all. Fellow patriots, what you're about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control, freedom. The information that will become public, which is happening now, Shady Groove.
Yes.
Will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt, pure evil, abuse of power that the Obama-Hussein administration undertook in joint efforts with domestic and foreign dignitaries. The snowball has begun rolling. There is no stopping it now. D5, which is like a hurricane, like a Category 5. A D5 is it'll like rip.
Avalanche.
Yeah, big, huge avalanche. Stay the course and trust the plan. Protective measures are in place. Remain brave. We knew this day would come. There's the video. United we stand, worldwide. Where we go, one we go, all we fight. Conspiracy no more. Look at this. Shady, you have a choice. The choice has always been yours. Power to the people. They want you divided. They want race wars. They want class wars, religious wars, political wars. They use the media. They use Hollywood. They use political leaders. They are loud. Groupthink. Public shame against those who challenge, Shady. Slavery. They know what is coming. It is now more clear than ever. Never in our history have they been this exposed. Never in our history have they come out from the shadows to fight. The truth is clearly visible. Defend MS-13. Defend the destruction of our borders. Promote the fear of nuclear war. POTUS remains in office. Nuclear alerts malfunction. Compare to Hitler Nazis. Promote violence. Promote hate. Promote war. Promote economic decline. Promote North Korea to end talks with the President of the United States. Promote impeachment for no reason. Promote racism, promote fascism, promote riots, form Antifa, violent group designed to instill fear in free speech, hatred for America. Sheep blindly follow. They are scared. They are losing control. They knew this day would come. We planned. We took control over key elements. We stand at the ready. We fight. Dark to light. God bless the USA. God bless patriots around the world. Think for yourself. Trust for yourself. Trust yourself. Courage together. And then as we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Wow, Shady. Look at that. We stand together, Shady. What? And look at Shady. This goes into what you're talking about too. Was Nazism ever truly destroyed? Was it merely a subdivision within a large organization, one finger attached to a hand? Did Antifa organically form? Flag design coincidence? Socialist push, U.S. worldwide coincidence? Global power struggle? There is a struggle. There's a price we will not pay. There is a point beyond which they must not advance. Has our video there. We the people, Q. Look at that, Shady Groove. Wow. This is just a sampling. Not going to read them all, but if you go to put that video, look at that, Shady. Look at.
Yep.
You think Q Plus wants us to watch it? Who's Q Plus, we think, Shady?
Donald Trump.
Yeah. Donald J. Trump, 3/12/2019. Q Plus.
I have good news to report.
Go ahead.
They did not advance to that point.
No.
I want you guys to understand that. They did not advance to that point.
Yeah. Thank God, Shady.
Dude.
All right, so do we continue the bigger than you can imagine? Where did we... How do you prevent leaks? Okay, so we stopped off at uranium. We're still just on the uranium. There's 11 posts, Shady.
Yeah, I think we were on 3836, sir.
Yep, that's exactly where we were.
Okay.
All right, so And it brings in something that you just mentioned. So why don't you take it, Shady Grove? You're doing a good job.
All right, 3836. 2/6/2020. So my God.
Wow. We've been doing this. But Matrix and Shady bad, Shady. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Better look out. You better make some more posts about Matrix and Shady whenever we have nothing to do with anything that you freaks have been doing to the American people. Like the only thing what we're guilty of is trying to detangle all of these psychological operations. That's what we are guilty of.
That's
We're
right.
trying to like make sense of all this nonsense that you people put out there in the ether every day and try to confuse everyone. And meanwhile, we're here like working our tails off trying to keep these people that are paying attention to us unconfused.
Yep.
It's a full-time job.
And more people need to pay attention.
And more people need to speak up and be strong. Think HRC, Russia, reset statement, Russia. Think Hussein, I'll have more flexibility after the election. Hot mic statement to Russian depot regarding Q to question to Hussein regarding Putin. That was whenever they put it to Obama. Like, oh, well, we're going to have more flexibility after the election. And I think it was Medvedev maybe that he was speaking to there.
That's
Yeah. Think Hussein White House refusal to send weapons to Ukraine, or Congress pushed to assist, but instead sent only blankets. Think D's attacks regarding POTUS for failure to protect Ukraine against Russian aggression. Impeachment. What advanced weapons did POTUS send to Ukraine? 2 + 2 = 6? Define projection. Think 1,800,000,000 Hussein White House to Ukraine. Which bank? Think USAID greater than Ukraine or to Ukraine. Think worldwide aid to Ukraine. Think Uranium 1 sale of U.S. uranium to Russia in the kill box. Why would that be in the kill box unless you were saying that we already understand through the post that we've read before who the HRC is that sold the uranium through Russia? Sold out U.S. to benefit Russia for personal financial gain. Donald Trump did not sell the U.S. out to benefit from personal financial gain from Russia. Hillary and the Clintons did. Risked U.S. national security for personal financial gain. Donald Trump did not do that through exposing Biden's corruption in Ukraine. Hillary and Bill did that through giving Russia what they wanted so they would pay them and money launder through speeches. How is payment made to the U.S. persons? Think Ukraine. Think Iran. Russia and Iran are allies, ? Russia, Iran, and China allies, ? U.S. political corruption, China. U.S. political corruption, Ukraine. U.S. leverage on behalf of ... U.S. political corruption, Russia. U.S. political corruption, Iran. Common denominator, China, Russia, and Iran. Closed financial systems, logical thinking.
There you go. That's why they needed the cash.
And this is why they had to censor this broadcast, because what we're talking about has to do with the real government corruption. The reason that this broadcast is censored has nothing to do with anything that anybody says it has to do with. The reason it has to do with is because we're talking about the politicians that are currently elected and some of them who have served and their connections to these exact crimes. Selling out America is not an unpunishable offense.
Yeah, if you get Cram is asking a question. If you're donated a castle, you get an opportunity to get 1 free month of premium. And that's our Friday show, guys. You're not going to want to miss it. So you get 13 months for 12. Does that make sense? You get 1 month free. But you got to buy it. You got to buy premium. And use code STUDIO.
Or maybe you get 12 months for 11 or something.
No, it's
okay.
I just, no.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You get an extra month for 12 months. So
apologize. I didn't know for sure. Thank you.
Yep. When does, Okay, so 3837. Guys, this is bigger than you can imagine. This is more than selling state secrets, more than selling the U.S. security, more than selling military tech, more than selling CIA assets, more than selling NSA bulk data collection programs. This is more than selling of uranium, more than selling of U.S. space, national security programs and positions, more than selling of USAID, more than selling special access programs, class 1 through 99. This is crimes against humanity. When you cannot destroy or defeat the United States of America by attacking head on, you change tactics and deploy a kill from within internal operation, financial economy, military police, division of citizenry, border collapse, install like-minded leader in key positions of U.S. government. How many people removed from the FBI had Iranian family backgrounds? The silent war continues. ... Shady. And, Valerie Jarrett, Peter Strzok,
John Brennan. Yeah. All of them. I mean, like Huma Abedin. There's a number. There's probably, I think we came up with like 20 of them.
Yeah, and they said FBI, but, still. So that's the uranium post. Shady. Again, let's just play this from here real quick. This is a refresher.
State. We need to root out the partisan actors. But exactly right. So the FBI, Department of Justice, they're shutting down 2 Clinton scandals. Now, I'm quite sure these investigations were predicated on Peter Schweitzer's book, Clinton Cash.
They were.
It was out there. I mean, you could see the corruption. Selling our uranium rights to Russia. Raking in, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars in the Clinton Foundation. It just on its face seemed horribly corrupt. Peter Schweitzer laid it all out there, so you get people investigating, and then you got Sally Yates shut it down, as you say, while they are ramping up the completely false, the Russian hoax, knowing that it was a false Russian hoax from the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Wow. So that's a refresher, okay? You guys with me? You're with me, right, Shady?
Yesterday was a Q proof regarding Adam Schiff. Today we're showing you the Q proofs regarding Uranium One. It's almost every single day here on the MG Show. We're directly connecting you to exactly what it is that Trump is saying, how it connects to Q, and how the news is unlocking the map. Meanwhile, all of the digital nuts out there are screaming and yelling and attacking one another, and each of them act like they are more important than Donald Trump and or any particular person in his administration.
So we are going now to U1 posts. Okay, Shady?
I'm here.
The first U1 post was 11/2/2017. Q post 46. But Q is only about JFK Jr., Shady.
There was one post about that. It said he's dead as a doornail.
Is JFK Jr. alive?
No.
But that's misinformation, Shady.
No, it's not.
Disinformation is necessary.
That's the way you get clicks on the internet.
And isn't it funny that CNN is all talking about JFK Jr., guys?
Oh, it's not just CNN, by the way. Like, even on my Samsung TV, like, I'm looking at the dumb things that they give you on the TV that you never watch, like the different programs and stuff. They got JFK Jr. over there, too. So the media is currently doing to all of the people that are MAGA or quote-unquote Trump supporters that with the JFK thing, they're doing the exact same thing to you they did with the Epstein thing. Like, they're like, for whatever reason, Q was here. Q was handed to you so that you could learn to navigate the psychological operations, and a lot of you have failed.
That's right. And Shady, before we get into the U1 post, let me just go ahead and do this real quick because it's the second one from one of our favorite advertisers. Let me just go ahead.
Oh, cool.
Access denied. Let me refresh.
Try a refresh.
No, I got it. Hang on. It's just because I have to re-sign back in. Sorry, guys. We do this live, but this is very important to this show and to us as well. All right. So for you, there we go. Here it is. All right. Here it is, guys. Accept and start. All right. Set your clocks, mark your calendars, and buckle up, Buttercups, for the best NFL primetime football action starting September. What? Oh, my God. What's happening? Set your clocks, mark your calendars, and buckle up for the best NFL primetime football action starting September 4th on Westwood One. You can catch it all the bone-crushing action, all the bone-crushing hits, last-second heroics, and edge-of-your-seat action that the NFL Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights have to offer. Whether you're tailgating, driving, or chilling at home, don't miss a single snap. Listen to the NFL app on the Westwood One Sports app at westwoodonesports.com, or just say, Alexa, open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One. Boom.
Boom. I knew it was going to come on. You called it. She came on. I could hear her. Hi, Alexa. Simon says go to sleep.
I think it's pretty cool that she's talked. Alexa, off. All right, so thank you very much. Yeti, man, you just kind of goofed me up. I thought something was wrong, but we're good. Just, mute. I love you. All right, Shady Groove, let's go to it. This is It's okay to F up every now and again. It is. 11/2/2017, Q Post 46, Shady.
Why is this information regarding Barack Obama important? Uranium 1 and export approval to Canada, to the EU. Where is Barack Obama today? Did Barack Obama and or his administration ever make false statements that U1 would never be exported from the U.S.? Who made those statements? Who did they report to? Why is this relevant? Let me tell you something, guys. You talk about a way to get Obama. This is a way that's a lot better than the other way that they're trying to act like that they might be able to get him with this Brennan and Comey thing with Russiagate. This is a lot bigger than Russiagate. The public has been given a select taste regarding, or i.e. sampling. Rest assured, others have it all, 100% verifiable and impossible to refute. Why is this relevant? Who controls the narrative? Why are left-wing organizations beginning to report on the DNC, the de-corruption? Does the CIA have operations inside the mainstream media? Yes.
Yep.
What happens if exposed? Then they lose their grip.
No, they censor us.
But they lose their grip on the narrative. Did they not?
Yes, they did.
Gone. Like they don't have it anymore. They don't even have a narrative to present to us. We don't even know what the hell they're talking about. What happens if tied back as knowing to executives? What does this have to do with leaking, Adam Schiff? What if it can be verified that no sourced stories made up were in fact and approved to be published? The wormhole goes deep, and this is inside the first top 60.
We're seeing that wormhole now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're absolutely seeing the wormhole right now. We're seeing all the worms trying to get you to think about something else.
Q Post 48, 11/2/2017. What is Q clearance? What hint does that explicitly refer to? The DOE? Department of Energy? Who would have the goods on Uranium 1? Does stating Q refer to that person works in the Department of Energy? No. Does it refer to someone dropping such information has the highest level of security within all departments? Why is this relevant? May 2010, Barack Obama, quote, Russia should be viewed as a friendly partner under Section 123, the Atomic Energy Act of 1954, after agreeing to a new nuclear weapons reduction deal and helping U.S. with Iran. Who is the enemy? What is being continually stated by all Democrats? Russia is what? What did the Russia reset really provide? Clearance pathway to complete the Uranium 1 deal? Why is the Canadian Prime Minister so important? They never thought they were going to lose. The calm before the storm.
Wow, these posts, these posts before Q started signing each one with Q are so interesting.
We got another Alice in Wonderland, Shady.
I know that's coming on this one, right? 49?
Go for it.
11/2/2017. Q says to follow Senator Grassley. What is different effective this week? What do you notice? Why does Senator Grassley, one example, have a higher than normal amount of security detail? Why is Grassley and others held in a secure location? When did this start? What has been different this week? Uranium 1 FBI informant? Have secret sessions been underway? How could this be discovered? What must be reported even if filed under state secrets? It's a name recognized around the world, Alice in Wonderland. And you see all this stuff coming out with Grassley now and everything that's been happening. What you're currently seeing is Q was explaining to us in real time that these people were going to cover this stuff up. We perceived what Q was saying is these people are going to help us expose it. But it's literally the exact opposite. Q was saying, watch how all these people cover this stuff up. And then we post about it, and then you go out there tagging Senator Grassley with it. And Senator Grassley's like, oh my God, these people already know. How do they know? It must be this Q thing. We got to shut them down. And the next thing you know, you got Angus King and putting Jeff's account on a list and they're taking our YouTube down because we're trying to talk about it.
But Shady, somebody said that I really wasn't on that list just recently.
Yes, you were.
I know, I have the sauce. Breaking: President Trump has dropped a bombshell by directing the Department of Justice to launch a full-scale investigation into Act Blue. Way to go. All right, Shady Grove, this is Q.
Let's put Win Red next. I think that we got some Win Red issues, Jeff, by the way. It's like it's not just about Act Blue. Let's look into that Win Red. You guys out there like making donations in people's name, money laundering also. That ain't good.
So let's go to Q Post 194, 11/22/2017. Uranium 1. Canada, European Union, Asia, Iran, North Korea. Huh. Are we having issues with Canada and Europe? That's weird.
Yes, sir.
Asia?
Yeah.
Iran and North Korea?
Yeah, we're having issues with all of them.
Wow. Wonder why that is. Maybe that's
Maybe
how
they're trying to cover something up.
maybe this this cover up with Canada might be the reason why they're going to become a 51st state, huh?
Yeah.
Iran deal. Why is this relevant? Reread drops regarding North Korea and Iran. Why? What does it mean to be covered in gold? Which couple was photographed covered in gold? Those were the Rothschild people. The public release was a mistake. Who released the picture? Who has all the information? Why? What does it mean to be covered in gold? Can you locate another pic with Y head covered in gold? What does this represent? 3 sides of a pyramid? The sum of all fears, Q. So, nuclear scare, right, Shady? And Russia is the one that brought it into... Actually, it was rogue Russian generals in the sum of all fears.
And that's right. And isn't it interesting that we have rogue generals doing similar things here?
Imagine that. So the 195 is a duplicate post, okay?
Yep.
So go to 199, Shady.
199 says Uranium 1 to Canada, to the EU, to Asia, to Iran, to North Korea. Where did it end up? What was the purpose? Who was supposed to win the election in 2016?
Hillary.
Why was the Iran deal kept from Congress and placed at the highest level of classification? It's interesting too isn't it interesting that we're now reading about Uranium 1, but we read about Uranium 1 and it connects us to the North Korea digs that we've done and the Iran digs that we've done and the Adam Schiff stuff that we were talking about yesterday and the Clinton Foundation and the trafficking number and all of these other different things that are all completely connected, but no one else can seem to be able to sync this up in their reporting. Why was the Iran deal kept from Congress and placed at the highest level of classification? Meaning, a United States senator could not review the deal, but other foreign powers could? How much money was hand-delivered by the planes? Why in cash? Where did the planes actually land? What was the cover? Who paid for Barack Obama to attend Harvard? That would be Ben Talil. Why would this occur pre-political days? Because they were generating a Manchurian candidate to become president. Who was the biggest contributor to the Clinton Foundation? That would also be Ben Talil.
Ukraine.
No, I think it was Ben Talil,
Ukraine.
right? Maybe so.
Yep.
The graphic
Ukraine.
is the key. Why does the mainstream... I think originally we answered that Ben Talil, but it changed later. I think you're right about that. The graphic is key. Why does the mainstream media push conspiracy without investigation? Who controls the mainstream media? What does the word conspiracy mean to you? Has the word conspiracy been branded to mean something shameful in today's society? The world cannot handle the truth. This pill cannot be swallowed by most. Risk in painting this picture. The sum of all fears. Q. The risk in painting this picture is that you will be censored by and coordinated against by rogue military operatives on the left and the right in American mainstream and alternative media, including Alex Jones and InfoWars.
Also, risk in painting this picture, sum of all fears, meaning what if North Korea had a miniature nuke payload delivery in 2024? So risking it could make them, the bad actors, the deep state, the CIA, the bad people, do this.
Correct.
Is another way to look at that. But you're right. And what if North Korea had a miniature nuke payload delivery in 2004? What if North Korea had ICBM capability since 2009? What if the previous tests that failed were staged? Why would this be relevant? Who is involved and why? Biggest cover-up in our history. Uranium 1, Canada, European Union, Asia, North Korea, Iran deal, Russian reset, Q. That was 11/30/2017. That brings us over to 5/20 on 1/13/2018, Shady. 5/20.
Big Newsweek future proofs past. What news was unlocked? Do you believe in coincidences regarding Uranium 1? What public disclosure occurred regarding Uranium 1? DEFCON 1, non-nuke faults. Command, why? Necessary. No such agency. NSA. Where did POTUS stop post-Asia? That was Hawaii. It was necessary for God and country. It was necessary. No other vehicle to regain entry. Again, direct pre-knowledge. Again, warning alert. Think BDT. Blunt direct time, I think, BDT.
Yep.
Shall we play a game? How about a nice game of chess? The floor is yours. Command. Why? Necessary. Who is talking? Think big. Think bigger. Think biggest. Haiti focus. Why is this relevant? What comes next? Clinton Foundation boom, shock, buy. Admiral R. Now here we are bringing Admiral Rogers into the conversation. He is in the news right now. Class 239 B_TC in the kill box. This is a quote, because of the Democrats not being interested in life and safety, DACA has now taken a big step backwards. The Dems will threaten shutdown, but what they are really doing is shutting down our military at a time we need it most. Get smart. Make America great again. We are fighting for our country. Focus on POTUS's tweet above. If the Dems shut down the government, what happens to all the U.S. military? What specifically occurs? Think budget. Why is this relevant? Classified EO. Killbox. 2. Missing. 1. Missing. 2. Missing. 3. Find. Missing. 3. Future proofs past. Nothing is a coincidence. The map is the key. Planned for 3 years. Corruption and evil deep within. Everywhere. Patience. There is no escape. There are no deals. Treason at the highest levels. Foreign agents within our government at the highest levels. The puppet masters have been removed. All vehicles of delivery removed, strings cut. 7th floor is no more. FBI and the Southern District, I think that would be. We see all. We hear all. The hunt continues. Prison, death, class, _Getmo, _JZ9A, Killbox 89, red, Iron Eagle, Q.
Oh, wow. Now, Shady, we interrupt this broadcast because Donald J. Trump is, in fact, speaking right now.
Right.
All right, let me go over to here.
Let's go to President Trump. Let's go.
Let me get to where he actually speaks.
Commissioner.
Okay, here we go. Let me just go ahead and get it. Come on, get it. It's only like 10 minutes, I think, so. Here we go.
You all set? How are you? Thank you very much for being with us. It's a good time for this country. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I think you're hearing it from a lot of people, not just from me. We're doing very well in so many ways. And the gentleman on my right, we recruited him. We tried to get the best person. We got a man that you'll hear in a second has done an amazing job with respect to Social Security. He's running it, and he's running it like nobody ever even dreamt possible. And it's the 90th anniversary right now of Social Security. So today we celebrate that 90th anniversary of one of the most significant pieces of legislation ever signed into law, the Social Security Act of 1935, and we're going to make it stronger, bigger, and better. We're doing a job. In the campaign, I made a secret pledge to our seniors that I would always protect Social Security, and under this administration, we're keeping that promise and strengthening Social Security for generations to come. You keep hearing stories that in 6 years, 7 years, Social Security will be gone, and it will be if the Democrats ever get involved because they don't know what they're doing. But it's going to be around a long time with us. Very much, you'll be surprised to hear some of the numbers. I'm delighted to be joined by the Commissioner of the Social Security Administration, Frank Bisignano. Oh, in the world of business, in fact, I wrote some of the little things down that he's had an amazing, he was Chief Operating Officer of JP Morgan Chase. He worked for Jamie Dimon. And Jamie Dimon said that he was amazing. So think of that, Chief Operating Officer, JP Morgan Chase, had a storied career. Then he went to First Data. For those in the business, you'd know it's the largest payment company anywhere in the world. And it worked for Henry Kravis, and it was in big trouble. He took it over as CEO. He made it incredible. They merged with Fiserv, and he became CEO of that, and that became extremely successful. I was in Milwaukee. I guess they have the Milwaukee Arena, and where we had some good success and some good speeches. But he's a really legendary guy, and he wanted to do this. I mean, he just wanted to straighten out Social Security because he loves our country. And what he's done in a few months is amazing. Almost 60 million American seniors rely on Social Security for peace of mind and a life of dignity in retirement. These Americans paid into the system, and they deserve leaders in Washington who are going to protect the benefits they've had and protect Social Security. Under Biden, Social Security went down like nobody's ever seen. It deteriorated. There's never been anything like it. The 4 years of Biden were very, very destructive. It couldn't have gone on much longer. Social Security was going to be destroyed. It was being destroyed. The average call wait time reached an all-time high of more than 42 minutes. Field office wait times were at 32 minutes, which is unheard of, and the disability claims backlog was the longest ever in recorded history. In other words, it was run just like the country was run. It was run really badly. But I'm pleased to report that under our leadership, and Frank in particular, the changes he's made and what he's done is sort of a miracle. Sort of like what happened with the country as a whole. Field office wait times are now down 30% since last year, and it looks like it's going to a total record number. And the record was set in a long time ago when the world was a lot different place. So we're going to beat that record. Call wait times are down 73% while serving twice as many customers per day. The disability claims backlog is down 26%, and seniors now have 24/7 online access to their accounts, which they never had before, whereas under Biden, the website was down 29 hours a week for maintenance purposes. It was essentially not open very much. They were always maintaining it, but they didn't know what the hell they were doing. They had a person running that had no idea what they were doing. Among my very first acts was to order all government employees to return to the office or be removed from the job, which means our Social Security offices are now open for full business hours, 5 days a week. So unlike being shut down all the time, we're open at record levels also. We're making it really great for the people that want and demand Social Security, and they paid into the system. They deserve it. Last month, I signed one big, beautiful bill and allowed no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, okay? So how's that? Not bad, right? No tax on Social Security for our seniors. And to protect our benefits, we've already kicked nearly 275,000 illegal aliens off of the Social Security system. These are people,
Wow.
many of them have already left the country, and yet we were sending them checks all the time. And 275,000, and that number is now even larger than that, Frank. It's an unbelievable job. And what that's doing is making the system strong. It's making it strong.
Thank you to Lisa Blair, $50. You guys are doing such a great job. Love hearing you talk about Q posts that connect to what we're seeing unfold in the news today. Thank you, Lisa 17 Blair. Appreciate that.
Biden never kicked anybody off. Everybody joined. And we're carrying out historic deportations to remove many more illegals committing Social Security fraud. It's the Social Security fraud that was taking place at levels that nobody's ever seen. We cleared 12.4 million names listed in the Social Security database over 120 years of age. Think of that. So we had 12.4 million names where they were over 120 years old. Is that right? That's a hell of a statement. I have a feeling, Dan, that's not really really didn't happen, did it? So you have 12.4 million names listed in the Social Security database that were over 120 years of age, meaning you were breaking records, because I've never heard of anybody at 125. There were nearly 135,000 people listed who are over 160 years old, and in some cases getting payments. So somebody's getting those
Doctor
payments.
said I'm not in bad shape for a man of 160, Shady.
We're also fighting the menace of inflation to make life more affordable for American seniors, and we've ended Biden's inflation nightmare. So we had the worst inflation in the history of our country, and now our inflation is down to a perfect number, a beautiful number, hardly any at all. And yet our country is taking in tens of billions of dollars and trillions of dollars, actually trillions of dollars in tariffs. You know all about it. It's been amazing. They say, why are we taking in so much money? Last week they found $29 billion and they couldn't figure out where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf. And they said, how did you know that's where it came from? Taking in billions and even trillions of dollars in tariffs, paid by other countries who, frankly, were taking advantage of us for many, many years. And they were doing that to us, but our people didn't know it. We didn't have smart business people. We've ended Biden's inflation nightmare and came in below expectations. And yet, again, this past month, we set records. Gasoline prices are way down, and really dramatically, as everybody knows. And energy prices have been going down, other than in certain states where you have Democrat-run states where they put windmills all over the place. Anytime you see a windmill, you'll say, well, they have bad energy costs. And it's happening in New Jersey. I saw that there's a revolution going on in New Jersey. They closed up a nuclear power plant, and they're raising electricity rates by 21, 22, and 28%, something like that. And you're going to have a new governor in New Jersey. I'll tell you what, you have a good man running the Republican Party. He'll get him down. But what they've done is they've killed so many good sources of energy for very expensive windmills and lots of other things that don't work. 401ks and retirement accounts are soaring, and the stock market is setting record highs. Almost every day we're going record highs, and yet we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. So
Thank you, Shiny Object. President Trump is working almost as hard as we, the people, as Matrix and Shady are. Wow, thank you so much, Shiny Object. $47 Rumble Rant. Appreciate that.
it turned out that Trump was right and they were wrong. A few smart people knew what was going to happen. A few of us were right. So we're going to keep the fighting going. We're going to make America's seniors every single day. We're going to fight for them. We're going to make them richer, better, stronger in so many different ways. But Social Security is like pretty much the one that we think about, and we love it, and we love what's happening with it. And it's going to be good for 90 years and beyond. Again, you were given only a short period of time. Social Security was supposed to be like down. Had they won the election, Social Security would have defaulted during Biden or Kamala's election, whoever they so chose. Two beauties. And now what I'd like to do is ask Frank to say a few words. Again, this is a man with a really storied past. He's one of the most successful anywhere in the world. What he did at J.P. Morgan Chase and what he did for Henry Kravis and all of the others are like legendary stories. And he just wanted to do this. He's making about a tiny fraction, I would say, a tiny fraction of what you used to make. But he didn't care. He wanted to do it. He made a lot of money. And he said, I want to run that system. I want to put it back on track. And he's got unbelievable talent over there. It's like a different place. So, Frank, would you say a few words, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Is less than 1% tiny fraction, sir?
Is that what it is? Less than one? That's a tiny
That's
fraction.
an honor.
He's
It's an
making
honor. It is an honor. And I'd like to start off by thanking the president for his tireless effort in running the country, in what he's done across the country, meeting every commitment. And, you know, I see it directly in the big, beautiful bill, the opportunity that is brought to seniors. But his effort on every commitment, delivering against it, and delivering on world peace tirelessly. I'd like to also thank him for my opportunity. You know, he's teasing me, I'm teasing him about the economics of the job. But the reality is to serve 300 million Americans, which is what Social Security serves, is a tremendous honor. And him putting that faith in me and building what I believe, and I think I have a right to say it, is the best leadership team ever assembled in the White House and in the cabinet. So that's my great honor. So I come here and get the opportunity to serve the American public in a manner that I never imagined in my life. And what we found was the opportunity to fix a foundation. The reality is, people talk about 72 beneficiaries. I talk about over 300 million Americans with a Social Security number that we must protect through the system. And when you look at what we talk about in eliminating Social Security numbers that were live in the system, they could carry fraud through the whole system. So the first thing was root out fraud, waste, and abuse. But while doing it, the best way to be more efficient is provide more accurate payments and better service. And you heard the numbers. I think the most staggering number is that we had a website that was down 29 hours. This will be a digital-first agency, and we are building my SSA accounts. That's the digital account. And we have a bold goal of 200 million Americans to have a digital SSA account by the end of next year. It will happen. Just like we had a bold goal of single-digit wait time on the calls when they were at 40 minutes. And we did that. This is my 100th day. We did that within 90 days, right? Get the web up and running, bring technology to our field offices, use digital presence to answer and serve the American public. That's the job. When we do all that, then we'll really know the answer to if we have a hole, right? I was presented in my second week on the job with $18 billion in errors by the Inspector General. It was public. In less than a month, we solved $9 billion of it. So that's the type of swift action we can take, right? You see the things like the big, beautiful bill for the seniors. You see better digital services. You see field office wait times down. If you make an appointment to have a field office visit, it now happens in 6 minutes. Unprecedented. We are serving more people and delivering more than was ever delivered before in a manner with the highest possible quality, and we've just begun. You should expect this to be a great digital-first agency. My commitment to make this happen is as deep as the president's commitment to make the world a great place. And you see the fabulous job happening here across America and what he's doing in the world. You should expect Social Security, just like the president. I thank him for making America great again. It's happening. Social Security will be great again. You have my commitment. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much. I'm going to sign the new proclamation, please.
Sir, this is a proclamation both commemorating the 90th anniversary of the Social Security Act, the signing of the Social Security Act, and also the incredible accomplishments of your administration fixing and promoting and safeguarding Social Security. And it also obviously mentions the fact that as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill, a vast majority of our senior citizens are no longer paying taxes on their Social Security benefits, as you promised in your campaign and as you delivered for the American people.
That's a big factor, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's great. I think they're very happy about it, too. They're very happy about a lot of things. Good job, Frank.
Thank you, sir.
I think they should give
Frank has
seniors
brought
all
with
of the
him some of the
taxes that
most
they paid on
talented
Social
people
Security back.
in business, and they were making a lot of money, but they made a lot of money. They had money they didn't have to make anymore, and they just want to do this. They want to have our country become strong, good, and that's what's happening. And we're doing that in a lot of locations, a lot of areas. You deal with some of the people that are commissioners, that are secretaries of state, secretaries of treasury and commerce, people that were really, really successful people. And they gave all that up to make a very small amount of money. They don't even consider it a fraction. You say 1%, less than 1%. That's pretty good. That's a big pay cut. But Frank is one of the most outstanding of all. His career has been incredible, and you just have to look at what happened at J.P. Morgan Chase and look at what happened with First Data. First Data was the biggest company of its kind in the world, but it was not going to make it. He went in, and it became a tremendous success. It merged into another company, and he became the head of that company. And he said, let me go save Social Security. Because as big as that stuff is, it's small potatoes compared in terms of numbers, right? In terms of numbers, these are big numbers. Government numbers are big numbers. So I want to thank everybody for being here, but I'm really proud of you, Frank. And here's your proclamation. And
wow.
Let's take a look at what that looks like.
Another
Signed
great
by
day.
a human hand.
Signed by a real man.
You watched it. Not an auto pen.
Do you have any questions for
Mr.
Frank?
President.
How about questions for Frank? For Frank?
Mr. President?
Yes, on Social Security. Please.
First and foremost, this was a major campaign promise that you had.
Promises made, promises kept.
First Agenda 47s that you put out, it was titled, We Must Protect Medicare and Social Security. Why was this important for both of you to get done, and given the fact that it will impact millions of lives?
Well, it was very important to me because I knew how Social Security, I've been hearing about it for years, long before I came to office, that it was really going to die very shortly. And I had to put somebody outstanding in, and I was talking to him on a business sense once, and I said, this guy's amazing. And he said, I'd love to help you with Social Security because it's sort of what he does. You know, he takes troubled entities and turns them around. And he did some of the biggest messes in the world, and Social Security in a certain way, I guess, you reported it all the time. In 4 or 5 years, it's going to go bust, but not anymore, it's not. And he's got it turned around so well. The proclamation helps. All of the things we've done help. And he's finding such tremendous fraud where we have illegal aliens. We have people that don't even exist on Social Security now. They don't exist. And what it does, it makes it totally secure and powerful for the people that are on it and need it. And we're very proud of the job he's done, one of the best.
Kara Castro from Lindell TV. How are you today, sir? Democrats like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren continue to peddle the lie and the claim that you're trying to cut Social Security, despite your repeated promises to protect it. Why do you think they keep pushing this misinformation and literally terrorizing the elderly in America that sadly keep watching the very misleading mainstream media?
I love your question. I should have called you almost first, but I love his questions also, always. But it's such a good question. It's so vicious what they do. Elizabeth Warren said she was an Indian. We call her Pocahontas. She's a liar. She lied her whole career. Based on the fact that she was an Indian, she was able to get into certain colleges, get certain jobs, get into certain universities to work there. She's a liar and a mean person. She's a nut job. I watched her the other night. She's all hopped up endorsing a communist in New York City. And she was all excited and jumping up and down. She's got to take a drug test. She really does. She's got to take a drug test. There's no way somebody can act that way and be normal. What she's done to our financial institutions, she destroys people. You know that you had a lot of great banks in the Midwest and banks that loaned to farmers and others, and they went out of business. She put them out of business. Stone cold mean. Banks that were open 150 years, family banks that supplied the farmers and manufacturers and others, and she put them out of business. She's a mean, horrible human being. Bernie Sanders is Bernie Sanders. I don't mind him so much. He's just a liberal guy, very liberal guy. He's a wacky guy. He's still sharp. I got to tell you, he's 86 or 87 or something. He's still sharp. You compare that to Joe Biden. It's, sort of what happened. So I don't mind Bernie Sanders. With him, you know what you're getting. You're getting a guy, he's a nasty guy, but he's somebody that, I don't know if I call it a fastball, but he's able to throw the ball pretty well. He's okay. I watched him the other day. He was totally on the opposite side of things. I will say this, the biggest issue right now, and an issue that's really taken hold, is crime, stopping crime in the cities, and the Democrats are fighting the stopping of crime. So I think that's like men playing in women's sports is okay, or transgender for everybody, okay. But this is a bigger issue. This is the biggest of all issues. Crime is rampant in D.C. It's rampant in our generally blue-run cities. and they've got to do something about it, or they're never going to win another election. And instead of calling me a dictator, they like to say Trump's a dictator. Trump's a dictator. Well, I had calls from many, many friends, including Democrats. I have a lot of Democrat friends, but they're normal people. And they were thanking me so much for what I'm doing in D.C. They feel so safe already. And you know, at the border, we had 0 people come in, and this is done by a liberal group. They're the people that do it. I have nothing to do with it. 0 people in 3 months. We had 0, 0, and 0 for 3 months. And last year we had millions of people pouring in from all countries, from jails, from drug addicts, gang members, drug dealers by the thousands and thousands. 11,888 murderers, half of whom committed more than one murder. They flowed into our country. And for the last 3 months, we had none. And I didn't remember when Joe Biden used to always go, I need legislation. I had no legislation. I just said, we're closing the borders. And the whole world understood it because they respect your country again. They really respect this country again. They didn't respect it. When he said it, it didn't mean anything. But now they know it meant a lot. And Mexico does what we tell them to do. And Canada does what we tell them to do because we have the 2 borders. We have the northern border, southern border. And they were both horrible. But now it's some people say it's a miracle. Well, what Frank has done with Social Security also is something very special. But what we're doing with crime, which will be your next question, I guess, that's because everyone's they're afraid. Half of the people here, maybe all of the people here, most of you live in D.C.
All right, Shady, we're going to go ahead and break away because our time is about up. But let's just kind of recap what's happening today. We've got John Solomon and Senator Ron Johnson talking about Uranium One, Hillary Clinton, which ties to everybody. It's all connected, and it's all connecting everything to the spying and why they needed to do this. You are now seeing why this is all connected. We have more uranium drops to read, but we're going to go ahead and, hold off. Maybe tomorrow we'll tell you guys, because I noticed you guys, that man standing there who's very nervous, okay? He's doing something really great for the country and for Donald J. Trump and for you, the people. And I see people, kind of making fun of him and all that other stuff, but I'm going to show you why you're doing that tomorrow, okay? And once we realize why we're doing that, we may not do that anymore. Just think of it like this, Shady. Think about you're falling off of a cliff, okay? Because everything that's coming at you is just crazy. You're falling off a cliff. Oh, my God. And then you see a thorn branch. The only thing you can see, you're going to grab that thorn branch, okay? Because it's a thorn branch. So think of it like your mind. Your mind is grabbing onto bullshit that these people are giving you, okay? This man is wearing a mask. This person's in Gitmo. This is JFK Jr. live. All this other, because your mind is in chaos. They're doing this to you on purpose, okay? And what I want you guys to do is take a look, man. People can be nervous on the live stage right next to Donald J. Trump in the White House with thousands of people standing in front of him, 50 people standing in front of him, wanting to ask questions, not liking him, and he's doing something great for this country. I just want you guys to know that we're trying to bust through all these psyops, and I think I found a major one to bust tomorrow. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow, Shady, and it's Friday tomorrow, too, and we've got a Rumble Premium. Don't forget to get Rumble Premium, too. Right, Shady?
Yes, thank you so much, everybody, for the people that are you guys who are signed up, subscribed here on Rumble. We are doing 5 hours a month of Rumble Premium. If you have not subscribed, we would encourage you to do so. Also, just to let you know, if you do subscribe to Rumble Premium, we are now currently in our 3rd month, might be our 4th month of reading that book that Yeti just flashed there on the screen to you, which uncovers the in-depth nature of exactly what it is the Federal Reserve is. You hear Federal Reserve, you think Federal Reserve is a private company. You don't realize that Federal Reserve is literally the only private company. It is a monopoly that controls your monetary fiscal reality. One thing I'd like to make point real quick about what Trump was saying. Yes, give the guy some grace, please. Take it easy on him. I would be a nervous wreck standing up there trying to talk beside Donald Trump. I'm not going to lie to you and sit here and pretend like I wouldn't be. But the reason that Donald Trump is so stern right there, he said something to you, and I want you to pick up on. And I want you to analyze what he said. He said that the blue cities are run terribly and they're not going to win again. What does that mean? Why would he say something? Did you guys pick up on that? He said they're not going to win again. Why did he say that? I'll tell you why he said that. He's answering it by telling you that there's been 280,000 people that were on Social Security that have been thrown off of it. He's answering it by telling you about all of the different shenanigans that are going on with the people being over 120 years old and getting money.
And they can vote.
These are money laundering operations is what's been going on, guys.
And they can vote.
A lot of it's illegals. And so once the illegals leave, people like Maxine Waters and Adam Schiff aren't going to be able to win elections anymore because the illegals aren't there. It's not the machines, guys. It's the illegals.
It is. And real quick, Shade, before I go, I got another one here real quick. Oh, my gosh. Westwood 1 in the house. Set your clocks, mark your calendars, and buckle up for the best NFL primetime football action starting September 4th on Westwood 1. You can catch all the bone-crushing hits, last-second heroics, and edge-of-your-seat action that the NFL Thursday, Sunday, and Monday have to offer. Whether you're tailgating, driving, or chilling at home, don't miss a single snap, guys. Listen on the NFL app at Westwood One Sports app at westwoodonesports.com, or just say ALEXA, open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
Boom.
Wow, Shady. All right, so I just wanted to say, Shady, you make a good point because these people vote, okay?
Yep.
They don't actually go deliver the vote. They steal the votes and then have mules deliver them. But those people that had Social Security probably had driver's license, probably had bank accounts, probably had voting rights.
SNAP benefits.
Q and all that. And remember, Shady, Q is saying that it's the gerrymandering, guys. Why do you think gerrymandering's in the news today? Okay. They want to control you. They want to keep the seats away from Republicans, even though in Massachusetts, for example, 41% of the state voted for Republicans. Why don't they have one seat? They have not even one seat. It's all Democrat. So we're figuring this out one by one. We're figuring this out together. We're understanding what's real and what's not real. This show busts psyops every day, Shady Grove.
It will continue.
And the noticing will be... the noticing will continue.
The noticing will continue. And the hammering will continue also.
Oh, I love the hammering.
I love to hammer them.
The hammering. All right, let me...
it's actually the greatest job.
It's really good. Let me find...
I would have to agree with that.
Oh, I'm trying to find a song to get out of here with, Shady.
Where is it?
You need to give me some.
Because we have so many in the query.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought I had it right here.
I don't think you did.
I didn't. I don't. We do this live.
Hey,
Yeti, why don't you choose something? Can you do that for me, Yeti?
Yeti, put him on the spot.
Thank you, Cram. Thanks,
So
guys.
shiny.
$10. Appreciate all the Rumble rants. We appreciate it because we're funded by you. Yeti, take it away.
Get us out of here.
In truth, everybody runs around every day talking about truth, and they're trying to get to the truth, and they want to hear the truth. That's one of the biggest lies I've ever heard in my life.
Soldier, keep on marching on. Head down till the work is done.
Most people have no desire whatsoever to even get within 100 miles of the truth, and in some instances, that's too damn close. So my conclusion is, most of you are going to get exactly what you're going to deserve over the next who knows how many years. Some of us are going to rise to the occasion. We are going to shine. We are going to shine. We're going to sparkle like diamonds.
So shiny.
Sunrise on the most beautiful day that you can remember that you've ever seen in your life. And we're going to do it simply and only because it's the right thing to do. For the human race. For God. For our children. For the future of this world.
Keep on marching on. Head down to the
And it won't matter what happens to each of us as individuals.
on that morning sun.
The only thing that will matter
Keep on marching
is that we rose to the occasion. We sparkled. We did what was right when no one else would. We said what was right when no one else would. We spent our money for the right things when no one else would. We worked and toiled the cause of freedom when no one else would. We took the slander. We took the libel. We took the bullets. We took the prison. We took wounds. We took death. We took whatever was aimed at us. And we will prevail. It may take a long, long time. I may not see it in my lifetime. I may not live to be a part of the victory celebration, but I will be victorious. But all of those with me will be victorious. And we will shine.
Waiting on that morning sun.
You all stand around and talk about it. We put on the armor of God a long, long time ago.
Hit that like button. Share the show. www.mg.show. Boom.